It was a truth about human nature that his opponents didn't even know existed, and that discovery changed everything for him. So what are these 3 weaknesses that Miyamoto Musashi identified? In the final years of his life, he wrote a book called Dakodo, The Path of Aloneness. In that book, he outlined the 3 weaknesses that destroy any man. The first weakness is an addiction to approval. Musashi wrote, "Never seek to be loved by everyone." This was a brilliant insight. He discovered that the need for approval is literally an addiction. When someone congratulates you, your brain releases dopamine, the same substance triggered by drugs. Like any addict, you eventually need increasingly larger doses to feel good. That is why you see men doing anything for likes, comments, and attention. They have become addicted to external approval. Musashi realized this 400 years ago, noting that when you need validation from others to feel valuable, you have given them your power, and a man without power is merely a shadow. The second weakness is fleeing from discomfort. Accept everything as it is, Musashi wrote, because he understood a brutal truth about human nature. Most men spend their entire lives running from reality, difficult conversations, important decisions, responsibilities, and anything else that causes discomfort. When you are always escaping, you become weak, because strength is only born through discomfort. A neuroscientist with 20 years of experience explained that the human brain only develops new neural connections when it is forced out of its comfort zone. Men who avoid discomfort literally stop evolving mentally. Musashi knew this, which is why he intentionally sought out uncomfortable situations. The third weakness is the slavery of desires, which is the most devastating of all. Let go of desire, Musashi advised. He discovered that as long as you are controlled by your impulses, you are merely an animal reacting, not a man. Think about how many men you know who are completely dominated by uncontrolled sexual desire, cravings for food, entertainment, alcohol, or validation. These men think they are free, but they are slaves to their own impulses. Musashi transcended that state. He became the master of his own desires. When you control your desires rather than being controlled by them, you become unstoppable. This was just the beginning of his brutal philosophy. Musashi developed a method he called forging through solitude. This was more extreme than anything you have ever seen, a journey of absolute isolation. After his first duels, Musashi made a radical decision to spend years living completely alone, without women, close friends, family, emotional support, or distractions. He did this because he understood a chilling truth. A man only discovers his true strength when there is no one left to save him. He trained alone in the mountains and faced his fears in caves. During this journey, he identified 3 internal demons that prevent men from reaching greatness. The first is the voice of doubt, whispering that you aren't good enough or deserve success. The second is the voice of addiction, telling you that you need others to feel complete. The third is the voice of fear, asking what happens if you fail or lose everything. Musashi fought a brutal war against these demons and won completely. To achieve this, he utilized a technique called the living death. Every day at dawn, he would sit in meditation and imagine his own death in detail, visualizing his body being cut by a sword and his life fading away. While it sounds morbid, it is actually the smartest thing you can do. When you fully accept that you are going to die, you stop being afraid to live. Cognitive psychologists explain that the fear of death is the root of all other fears. When you transcend that, you transcend everything. After years of this self-discipline, Musashi became literally unstoppable. When he returned to civilization, his opponents reported something terrifying. Before the duel even began, they knew they had lost. Musashi radiated such absolute confidence and intimidating presence that he psychologically broke his opponents. One samurai who survived a duel with him said that looking into Musashi's eyes was like staring into an abyss. It felt like seeing someone who had completely transcended fear. During this transformation, Musashi developed 5 laws of invincibility fundamental for any man seeking true strength. Law 1. Accept solitude as your best teacher, for it is there that you truly know yourself without distractions. Law 2. Turn discomfort into fuel. While others flee it, you must embrace it as the source of strength. Law 3. Kill your emotional needs for approval, love, and validation, as these make you dependent and weak. Law 4. Live as if you were already dead, freeing yourself from fear. Law 5. Become the master of your impulses, maintaining total control over primitive desires like hunger, anger, and laziness. The ultimate proof of Musashi's transformation occurred during the most famous duel in history against Sasaki Kojiro, the second-best swordsman in Japan. Musashi arrived 3 hours late to psychologically break his opponent. While Kojiro waited nervously on the beach, Musashi calmly carved a wooden sword from a boat oar. When he finally arrived, Kojiro was already mentally defeated. The duel lasted less than 30 seconds, but the most impressive insights came after the victory. Musashi revealed that true masculine strength does not come from dominating others, but from mastering yourself. In the last 20 years of his life, he never killed again, finding ways to win without taking lives because he had transcended the need to prove his strength to others. Musashi discovered the secret code of strong men. First, strong men do not need to look strong. They are so self-assured they feel no need to prove anything. Second, they are masters of patience. Knowing haste is a sign of weakness. Third, they are not afraid of making mistakes or changing their minds when presented with new facts, unlike those with fragile egos. Fourth, they protect their weaknesses by working obsessively to strengthen vulnerable areas. Fifth, they are unpredictable and never follow patterns others can exploit. Furthermore, Musashi realized a dark truth about competition. 90% of men compete not to lose, acting as prey, defending themselves. Predators, however, compete to win. Musashi became the ultimate predator because he fought to gain while others fought merely to survive. He used a brutal thought experiment to test his strength, imagining he had lost everything: reputation, money, health, and loved ones, and asking, would I still be a strong man? The answer was always yes, because his strength was internal. This leads to the final paradox. The difference between strong and weak men is not what they achieve, but what they can live without. Weak men need constant approval, distractions, and company to feel complete. Strong men can live without all of that, which is exactly why they eventually acquire it all. When you stop needing approval, success, or company, you become irresistible, and these things naturally come to you. Now you have a choice. You can close this, return to your ordinary life, and continue being just another ordinary man. Or you can accept Musashi's challenge and begin your journey of transformation today. If you have made it this far, you have already proven you are different from 95% of men who abandon this in the first few minutes. If you are ready for this journey, I want you to do one thing. Write "I accept Musashi" challenge in the comments. This is your public commitment to your own transformation. Subscribe to the channel right now, because every week I bring you the secrets of the most powerful men in history. Weak men seek comfort. Strong men seek growth. Always remember, the path of strength is the path of solitude. But at the end of this journey, you won't be alone, you will be whole.